Did you see we got a view of baby ass?
I did. Yeah.
Death Stranding. Like, what is with Kojima, man?
Yeah,
nuts.
He loves that shit. It's that like, it's the guy in MGS4 that has like chronic diarrhea. That's his humor. That's like his what do you call it? Comic relief ideas.
Yeah.
Just people butts and farting and poop, babies with butts. Just whatever's going on, do the butt version of that, and that's Kojima joke in a nutshell.
Hey everyone, and welcome to part 2 of a very special E3 2018 conference episode of Rather Be Playing, the podcast where we talk about how we'd rather be playing games than
being outscored in a free throw competition by a young child.
I'm Josh.
I'm Elliot.
And I'm Steve-O.
Well,
and
do go on, Steve-O.
I'm an absolute disaster. So, lads, balls in general are there to be kicked. They're never to be thrown. Okay, this whole basketball thing, I was around with my brothers on Saturday. They were doing a block party on their street, and they had blocked off the road, and one of their neighbors had brought out a basketball ring. I did this last time as well. Hoop.
You Ted Cruz'd it.
I was about to say hoop, and I corrected myself. Just kill me. And anyway,
it's a halo. It's a basketball halo. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I probably hit, I would say, 1 of 8, 9 tries. And this little girl was literally 5 years old and about 3.5 foot tall. And she was like shooting 75%. It was just unbelievable. Is
this a standard NBA height basketball hoop?
No, I'm sure it's like, it was one of those adjustable ones. So at the highest it goes, it probably was, but it was down pretty low. But it was still like, I would have found it difficult to dunk in. I also did not try to do that because I could have only embarrassed myself more. But yeah, anyway, basketball, lads. I wasn't built for it. Never played it. I'm never gonna.
That was the first and final test.
It was really bad.
It's okay. At least you get to watch the World Cup now instead.
Yeah.
I love the World Cup, lads. Aren't Mexico fantastic?
Yeah. I gotta say, going into it when the US wasn't gonna be in it, I thought I'm not gonna watch it. Yep. I'm not interested. I get my soccer fix following Liverpool now, and it's not like every 4 years anymore, but as soon as it started with that Spain-Portugal, it's like, yeah, this is going to be fun.
Totally agree. After watching Russia and Saudi Arabia, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be dour. It's just going to be boring, and everyone's terrible, and Ireland and the US aren't there, so I've got no one to cheer on. Yeah. But man, Spain, Portugal was fantastic. Peru put up a good fight against Denmark. I was really sorry to see them lose, but I guess if you can't score, you're not going to win games. But Mexico.
Sorry, I was going to say, and as the U.S. commentator said, Iceland beat Argentina 1-1.
Yeah, that was some performance. Fair play to Iceland. I wonder how they'll do against Croatia as well, if they can go through out of that group. It's amazing. Like, at 300,000 people, it's smaller than like 65 cities in the US or something like that. 45 or 65 cities have bigger populations than the country of Iceland.
Yeah. This fun stat I heard was Argentina has more registered soccer players than Iceland has people.
That is a good one. Oh, but lads, Mexico. All plaudits to Mexico. What a performance against Germany. That was a schooling in counter-attacking football. It was so exciting to watch. Man, I love that game.
Yeah.
And that one was on a little too early for me, so I got to go back and watch it, but I'm excited to see what happened.
And the important one that's coming up, Egypt against Russia, lads. All that I want from this tournament is Egypt to beat Russia. If Mo Salah gets a hat-trick, I'd be even happier.
Is he confirmed in? Is he still?
He's got to be, man. They didn't play him at all in the first game, and if they lose this one, they're out. If they even draw it because of Russia's 5-0 win against Saudi Arabia, they've got the goal difference, so they basically have to win it. So he's going to have to play. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
All right, guys. This isn't the Rather Be Kicking Balls podcast. So
just like last week,
we should probably go back to what we were doing.
What is that? Oh shit.
Yeah. So last episode we did part 1 of our E3 recap, and we decided we needed to split it up just because there was so much to go through. So last time we covered EA, Microsoft, and Bethesda, and then we've got everything else this time. So
yeah, hopefully everything else. We don't need a third episode.
God, yeah, hopefully. So the first conference up that was after Bethesda was the Devolver conference, which everybody was excited for, given how absolutely batshit insane it was last year. And they delivered, and Devolver now has their own cinematic universe. I recommend going to watch it because it's the sequel. It's just as nuts as the last one. And they even added a to be continued for next year. So that'll round out the trilogy in 2019, I think, before the reboot in 2020.
Yeah.
But they did have a few games to announce. There was Scum, which they announced to begin with, which that was which one was it? That was the shooter they had gone on there.
Is it a battle royale?
I don't know if it was specifically a battle royale type game, but given everything else, who knows?
It seemed to be multiplayer, set in an island. So would have guessed battle royale, but I guess maybe Devolver, smaller games, might not be aiming for something as ambitious as that.
True. But I mean, they did have some other ones that were kind of smaller games. You think they had they only had a couple more. They had My Friend Pedro, which was weird.
It kind of looked like a side-scrolling Unity-based
John Woo
or Hotline Miami was the one that I was thinking, with really, really wacky physics. There was people flying all over the shop. It was like John Woo Gun Kata / I don't know, ragdoll physics. You play as some guy in a mask that's running around just shooting people like Hotline Miami style. Like you run into a room and you got to try and kill everybody as quickly as possible. But like you're jumping around, aiming everywhere, ricocheting bullets, doing a whole bunch of other crap. It looked kind of interesting, if a little messy. Yeah, I just wonder how much depth it'll have. If it's is what we saw all there is to it, or is it actually a fully fledged, what's the word I'm looking for?
Game.
A fully fleshed out game.
That's the phrase I was fledged.
Fleshed out. But I mean, it kind of reminded me of like a puzzle shooter type thing. Like you saw that they would walk into some of the rooms and they'd have to like ricochet a bullet up top to drop something on the enemy and a bunch of things like that. So maybe there's a bit more depth than just running in and shooting people. So
hope so.
It could be interesting.
I was just gonna say I think I saw this one after the conference. Like I came back and watched it, and it was just one of those like My Friend Pedro. Like I just saw the title and it was nothing like what the title.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't know if that makes me like it more, because I thought it was gonna be some like Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
or Life is Strange, something cutesy and indie. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, this is pretty sweet, and the title is totally underselling it, and maybe that makes me more hyped for it. Plus, of course, it's on Switch, so boom.
Right.
Yep.
They had one more major announcement, which was they are remaking or remastering the cult classic Metal Wolf Chaos for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Which never actually got a US release originally, did it?
No, so it was released in the Xbox in Japan back in like 2004, I think. And it's a game where you play as the President of the United States piloting a mech trying to save America.
So I think it's like his vice president has betrayed him, and
something like that.
Vice president has a mech and is trying to take over the country, and then he's trying to I don't know. He hops in a mech and fights back. It looks so stupid.
a lot of people were clamoring for it because, again, I think this game is just one of those like cult classic things. Like, I don't think people are like, yes, this is the best game ever, but it's just so weird that people like it. So
fantastically ridiculous. I like it.
Like, no one really wanted a Battletoads remake, but I'll take it.
Yeah. So, they had a pretty short conference. I think a lot of their budget was spent on killing Nina Struthers and bringing her back to life. R.I.P. Nina. R.I.P. But after Devolver, we had the Square Enix. I can never say this. Square Enix.
Enix.
Yeah. I know it's Enix, but I've been saying Enix for years now. So the Square Enix conference.
Speaking of which, it's also Xenogears, not Xenogears.
I know.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure I mispronounce all of these, lads. So just blame me.
I always say Xenogears, but it should be Xenogears because the prefix is Xeno, not Xeno.
But it's xenophobia, right? It's
xenophobia.
Is it xenophobia?
Pretty sure, yeah.
I'd say xenophobia. So you should probably say xenophobia.
The Japanese like phonetic spelling is Xenogears.
Well,
so
right.
but now I don't know how to pronounce xenophobia because I use that because I learned the word Xenogears before I learned the word xenophobia. So I've always said xenophobia.
True. I might be talking out of my ass. I don't know, actually.
SNES or sneeze?
I don't know. Man. But one of the big ones they announced, which everybody was kind of expecting them to do, was Dragon Quest XI.
That game looks beautiful, man. I've never seen anything like it. I really want to play it, and I've never played a Dragon Quest game. But it just looks like such a cartoony, almost Studio Ghibli, but not.
I think it's one series that you would unexpectedly love, Steve-O.
Yep.
I would love to like, and this looks like a really good way to get into it. Very modern.
Because the thing with the Dragon Quest games is like they never really push the envelope. They do kind of play very safe. Mm-hmm. Like they do a lot of the same things in every game, a lot of the same tropes and things like that. But they do everything very well.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the games, they all have like, the same spells, similar story.
It's more so than Final Fantasy. Like they use much more of like you're almost playing the same game over and over again, but just like more complicated and more refined.
Yeah.
But
that's amazing.
Story is usually pretty similar.
That they're still considered good and that they're still, beloved in their own right. Whereas people expect something different from Final Fantasy every time.
But they expect Dragon Quest is more like that. Warm blanket, like I know what I'm getting and I know it's good and it's familiar and I know that even if they tack on something maybe slightly new, it's usually nothing so ridiculous that I'm like, this isn't Dragon Quest, what am I playing? So it's just a very familiar series that they take some slight chances and kind of change things around every now and again, but nothing major.
Have people have time to play an 80-hour game, the same game every couple of years though?
Well, it's still different. You generally have the same general story, and ancient evil has arisen. You are the hero, or the hero. You gather your party to go defeat the ancient evil. Generally the same tropes as far as story goes, but it's just it's such a charming series.
Yeah,
it's just charming's probably the best way to put it, I think.
Well, agreed. It's very charming, and it's very very challenging, and I think that's the kick that people get out of it.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to play. You build up your party. Each battle is in and of itself almost its own entire game, trying to make sure you've got the right buffs and debuffs and spells going on in the right party, working in the right way. There's a lot of dying and figuring out strategies and then coming back and trying it again. It's not as unforgiving as like Demon Souls or anything, but as far as RPGs, like everything is doable. But it's tough, you got to outthink more than it's more about thinking that it is like endurance, like smashing the button for enough times kind of thing.
Yeah.
Earlier games did tend to have a lot of grinding though.
Yes. Yeah.
That's like the staple of every Dragon Quest game up through like Dragon Quest 4 is you like sit around the opening town for like 20 minutes just killing slimes and stuff so you can get a couple levels before you move on. They've slightly gotten a lot better than that, but initially, yeah.
It is a funny thing about JRPGs, though, that I always think, do you always have to go into a battle, see what the enemies are like, and then reload in order to know what you should be doing? And isn't there a way that they could, foreshadow what, you're going to be up against in a way that they could make you set your party while playing through a level, for example, before getting to an end boss in a dungeon.
Yeah, but I feel like that's part of the challenge, part of the experience.
That's weird. Like dying and restarting. I guess Dark Souls. We do it in Dark Souls, so I guess not that weird.
I think the more recent ones are a little more forgiving. I haven't played the most recent ones, but like the very early ones were definitely that you're supposed to go in and just die and then come back.
Yeah.
Oh crap, this guy uses a party-wide fire spell. I'm fucked. I need to come back later. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you'd like it. I think you'd like the thinking aspect, and it's, as you said, stunning. It looks so good. And I think this is the first mainline one not on a portable console in like a long time. So the last one was 8, right?
Yeah, but they
this
released
11.
But 8 was PlayStation 2, and they didn't release the portable one for, I don't know, till like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, I just mean like 8 was like 9 was portable, 10 was portable.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit, 10 was online.
Yeah, I was about to say 10 was
yeah. All right, forget what I'm saying.
Yeah. They announced Square Enix announced a new IP with Platinum Games called Babylon's Fall. Kind of looked like a medieval action RPG type thing, but in like, I don't know, maybe like a gothic style, but they didn't really show much other than some concept art and some guys walking around. So
kind of pity they didn't.
Not a lot of info there, but Platinum Games, so maybe.
Yeah, one of the only things that they announced that people didn't know about, and it's like, you could have given us something to chew on. But
yeah,
it worries me that they didn't, because Platinum Games, it's like every other game is amazing or horrible.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it worries me.
They had another new IP called The Quiet Man, which it appears you play as a deaf man that beats up homeless people.
It was a really strange trailer. Like the complete lack of context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started watching, I was like, is this like a Bouncer sequel? And then like the guys are yelling at I guess with the protagonist or something, and the guy, he points to his ear like he can't hear them, and then they come closer to him, and then he just beats the shit out of them. So I guess that's your thing.
Yeah.
Trick people into fighting you, or maybe you really can't hear them and then they get mad at you and then you fight them anyway. So okay. So then we had Square did announce that they are porting Nier Automata over to Xbox One, which is great. If you haven't played it, because you don't have a PS4 or a PC capable of running it, but you do have an Xbox One, go get it. It's an amazing game.
Any PC is capable of running it? It has had 0 support since it came out on the PC version.
True. Fair enough. So maybe that'll be good.
And of course, we already knew this because we saw it in the Microsoft conference.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the other game that was showed 5 million times, Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, was the same one as the Xbox trailer.
Yep.
So
check out the last episode if you want our hot take.
If you didn't know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming eventually.
And it's uber creepy.
Yeah. And then the last thing they talked about was Octopath Traveler. They showed off a new trailer, and they actually released a new demo, which lets you play through chapter 1 of all 8 characters. Takes you you get like 3 hours to play, and your save will actually carry over to the retail release once it actually comes out. So you don't have to like redo what you've been doing. So
Josh, is there a time limit?
So what?
Yeah.
You said it's 3 hours. So there's a time limit?
Yeah. So you can play. I already downloaded it and played it. So you can play for 3 hours. You only have the one save slot. And then after 3 hours, the game stops where I think you have to do like a screen transition. But once you transition to a screen, it stops the game, basically says, thank you for playing the demo. You can save your progress now, and your progress will carry over to the real game.
Weird. If
you want to play it again, you can either make a new profile, which like I did because I wanted to see the other 4 stories, but I wanted to keep my current progress. You can do that because again, if you want to start over on the same profile, you'd have to overwrite your save. So, but
that's weird. Okay, you only have one save on a profile.
I think the actual game will have more save slots. I just think for the purposes of this demo, you just have the one save.
So it's not like a demo limitation. It's just per file, like because 3DS demos have limited use. It's like you have 29 uses left. Like you boot this up.
You could play it a million times. Yeah, you could just only play it 3 hours at a time.
Gotcha. That's weird, but okay.
But I had a lot of fun with it. I'm definitely getting it when it comes out. So, yeah, overall, the Square Enix showcase was actually kind of dull. Nothing too new other than Dragon Quest XI, which we already knew was coming out. The 2 games, Babylon's Fall and Quiet Man, which we didn't know were coming out, didn't tell us anything. So
yeah,
no,
it's just so strange that they gave all these trailers to Microsoft first.
Yeah,
I know.
Why? Like, you spend all this money to put on a conference, and then you give all your good stuff to Microsoft. It's just mind-boggling.
And where's FF7 remake?
Yeah, people were kind of pissed about that one.
Damn. Tokyo Game Show. That's what everyone says.
So next up was the Ubisoft showcase. And the big one that they really showed that everybody was really excited for was Beyond Good and Evil 2. They showed 2 new cinematic trailers as well as some off-screen footage, like in-game footage. It looks amazing, and I think the monkey didn't swear the entire time again last time. So
yeah, this is a game that's kind of been announced and then unannounced and then reannounced over and over again, and to see it actually making progress is fucking exciting.
I'll let you talk about it because I didn't play the first one, so
I didn't finish the first one. I think Steve was the only one.
Yeah, guys, you both need to go play it. It's a really fun game. It's really, the world really feels lived in, and the characters really feel fleshed out and interesting and nice. It's like got this really wholesome feel about it as well. You should definitely check it out.
Wow.
The funny thing, you're talking about them making progress though, Elliot. Like, it's really strange to me that they're making all these cinematic trailers, and then did you hear about the hit record thing? Basically, Joseph Gordon-Levitt came onto the screen and was talking about his company Hit Record, where they basically crowdsource development, so people can create music or art for the game, and then they'll pick pieces to be used, and then they'll pay people depending on how many games are sold. And I think, but yeah, it's really, really weird. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, give us Beyond Good and Evil 2. You know, we really want it. Everyone wants a sequel," and they're like, "We're gonna do it. We finally did it." And they come out and they basically do a victory lap last year saying, we're going to do it. And then this year they're like, "Oh, do you want to help us out?"
Yeah.
Really strange.
There's been some, a little bit of controversy around that too, because in this presentation, he didn't mention anything about compensation.
Yep.
And so while they do say that they do compensate people for work provided, there's always issues about, like, you know, when you submit designs for a contest or something, and if they don't choose yours, you still give up your rights for that work. So there's still some discussions around that. I'm not actually sure if there was anything given decided there, but and of course, he did come out and talk about it after the conference.
And of course, an argument that I've heard repeated is Ubisoft are posting profits of millions and billions of dollars. There's no possible reason why they need people to do this work for free or ad hoc and to get paid later. It's just.
But think about how cool it would be to have your dick butt picture posted in Beyond Good and Evil.
You submitted one then, Josh?
Maybe a couple.
So
that's. I could see indies doing it. I could see like an announcement at a different conference or another showcase, but for a company like Ubisoft, which has their own single showcase, to have to crowdsource this way, it's so weird.
Yeah, I think it kind of burns as well. If you gave people the option to kickstart this, they would.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would be, I don't know. Is that any better? Is that any worse? People say, "Oh, this is a chance for budding artists to get noticed," and
for exposure. You're doing it for exposure.
Yeah, it's not.
But that's messed up. No. Well, anyway, I guess that's enough said about this.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. I missed the Joseph Gordon-Levitt part. I just saw the trailers.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk more about it in the future.
But
at least there was new stuff, I guess.
Josh, there were another couple of things in here I think that maybe would be worth mentioning. Trials Rising.
Oh yeah, the new Trials game,
it's coming out, and it's going to be the first Trials on Nintendo Switch, which seems like a perfect place for it. But I don't know, Trials, it was really fun at the time, but unless you've got 3 other people to sit in a sofa and play it with, it's, how much but would you be willing to pick up another one?
Just gotta go online and beat everybody else's time constantly, over and over again.
Trials. Sorry. I was so sure you were saying Tribes.
I was about to say, I knew he was confused. I'm sitting there going like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, does he?
No, I do remember the Trials announcement. I did not remember a Tribes for Switch announcement.
Yeah, it's Trials Rising by the guys who made Rage.
Yes, Trials. Naturally.
Yeah.
Then after that, we had a little bit more of the Division 2.
Yep.
Which was a cinematic trailer, and it was very grim. It was very dark. There was a lot of people being executed and a lot of like women and children hiding in fear. It was.
You think they saw the Last of Us trailer and were like, "This is what people want"?
Well, unless Sony showed it to them beforehand, which I don't think makes any sense. But
last year's trailer showed like the.
Oh yeah, good point.
Brutal.
Sorry, I take it back.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
But so it was a bit of a strange trailer. To me, the weird thing about it was that it seemed to have a lot of horror, but no heart. They were, these nameless soldiers executing people, and then 3 nameless people, like, the word help, written on a piece of paper, like, and fluttering in the wind, is caught by these 3 nameless people walking it towards the city. And it's like, wow, that's really bland and weird. Yeah. This kind of savior fantasy. I don't know.
There have been some good memes on that.
Yeah.
With that trailer. Like, do you guys remember the episode of The Office where they have to make the commercial? And like they're like tossing a piece of paper around the office, and eventually like they open it up. And at one point, one of them turns into a paper airplane, and then it transitions into the Division 2.
Jeez.
And the other thing that they mentioned about the Division 2 was that they're going to release episodic DLC throughout the year, but it's going to be free if you pay for the base game, which is a really good idea. I feel like that's a really reasonable way to release these games. Make people pay up front, but not expect a gigantic game, not expect something as big as Destiny was by the end of it, or the Division was even by the end of it. These games as a service are going to have to be iterated on. We've learned.
Well, I think they said they wanted to do it more frequently too, and have like a game plan going up front where they don't feel, it doesn't make it look like they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants with the DLC. They'll say, this is coming out this time, this is coming out this time. So.
Seems very smart. Oh, and they have raids, eight player raids.
Right.
Was another announcement.
They seem to be trying to just do everything Destiny isn't doing, and not do the shitty things they're doing, and they're in a really good position to steal a lot of, like, my cousin is a huge Destiny player, and I know as soon as Destiny 2 came out, he's like, let's all jump on the Division because they don't treat you like shit. So it'll be interesting to see if they can make something of that.
So the next one they had is one that I've been excited for, Far Cry 12. I mean, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Donkey Kong Adventure. This is some DLC for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This one adds Donkey Kong and Rabbid Cranky to your team, as well as they said that that the DLC is half as big as the base game, so that means like I think like 2 whole worlds would probably be that, so that'd be like 20 levels, give or plus some extra stuff in there. So I'm excited for it. They showed some gameplay during the Nintendo Treehouse later on. It looks like Rabbids. It looks great. So I'm excited.
That's pretty cool.
And it comes out on June 26th. So soon.
Do they have a price for it?
I think it's $20. I think it's $20, but I think it's also part of the season pass if you had that.
Does this count as buying a new game?
Yep. So next up after that was Skull and Bones. Did you see that one, Josh?
Yeah, I saw that one.
It looks. Now I never played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but I believe this is the one that the gameplay is meant to be similar to controlling.
People seem to like Black Flag though.
Yeah, and from what I saw in this, there seemed to be a lot of customization, a lot of upgrades. It seems like they're going for a lot of the things that maybe weren't available in what do you call the other one that came out?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah, which seemed to be a bit more of a basic game and not that much depth to it.
Yeah, I mean, pirate ship battles and stuff don't interest me that much unless I'm playing Curse of Monkey Island. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
And then Elijah Wood came up on stage
that's right.
and asked us, "Don't you want to? Haven't you ever wanted to get in inside someone's mind and know their innermost secrets?" And it's like, no, nope. Elijah, nope, don't, no. People are fucked up, man. Don't do that. Don't you do that, Elijah.
Needs to go back to doing Harry Potter.
So this was a bit of a creepy VR game. Actually, a really creepy VR game, wasn't it?
Daracene, or what's it called? Daracene?
What's that? Oh no, this one's called Transference.
Oh, Transference. I'm thinking of a different one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it looked like an interesting trailer. I think it didn't show any gameplay again, did it, Josh? I think it was just cinematic.
It didn't. No.
Yeah. And then after that, they did a toys to life. What do you call those things? Anyway, doesn't matter. Toys and games. It's called Starlink Battle for Atlas. They showed this one before. It's the one where you're basically putting toys on top of the controller to change your ship.
The augmented reality thing.
Yeah. The cartoon aesthetic actually looked quite cool. It seemed to have a lot of character and looked kind of interesting, but it's certainly not for me.
Well, the Nintendo Switch people are going to eat it up since you get to play as Star Fox or Fox
that's
Cloud.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
He's going to be in the Nintendo version.
Yep.
Man, Ubisoft and Nintendo really good buddies these days.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
You missed one of those, Diva. So we Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey was the last one, sir.
What are you talking
about? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm pretty sure they finished on that because it was gigantic. Took about 25 minutes. The other ones that they did before that they did a bit of For Honor, which apparently has been getting regular updates. I played
in like a siege mode now or something.
Yeah, I played the beta for all of 2 seconds. It seemed like it could be fun, but it seemed really technically difficult to get into. It would take a long time to master it, I think. And they show cinematic trailers, and it all seems so lore heavy. It's weird. Because the lore couldn't possibly make any sense, and it's just a bit silly. Like Vikings and knights and all of these. What's the other one? Like Shaolin monks or something now.
There's like samurai in there now too, aren't there?
Yeah, is a samurai. Yeah, it probably is, since samurai were everywhere in the E3 this year.
Yeah.
They did a bit of For Honor, which I'm sure we're not that fussed on. They were giving it away free, but nobody wants Uplay on PC, so I'm just not going to play it. And then they did the Crew 2, which again was another cinematic trailer. It's like,
did people play The Crew?
I don't think so.
I didn't think that was a very popular game.
There's a beta coming up in 3 days if you want to play it. Sorry, that's June 21st. Don't time travel, Steve-O. And they have different vehicle types. They probably did in the Crew 1, didn't they? There's like
yes.
Boats and hovercraft and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure if that's your kind of thing, go nuts. But
yeah.
And then they did a whole lot of Assassin's Creed, which is based in ancient Egypt this time out, isn't it?
No, Greek.
That was the last one.
Oh, sorry.
Was the last one.
Yep, you're right. But it looks pretty cool.
I'm a little bummed. I don't know why I thought Odyssey would have been in like ancient China, but the Greece is cool too.
The Odyssey.
I know it makes sense now, but when I first heard that was like the leaked title, I was like, oh. I think the thread I was in, people were thinking China, but
it looks absolutely stunning. It's one of the most graphically intense games.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it looks so colorful, so much detail. It looks stunning. And I don't know, Josh, what did you think of the battles?
I mean, so Assassin's Creed for me, the battles have always just kind of been like, but I mean, a lot of people did seem to like Origins, and I've been meaning to give it a shot at some point. But I'm hoping that Odyssey kind of, I don't know, if you have to do combat, it seems like you actually might stand a better chance than if you're just having to sneak around all the time.
Yeah.
So,
and it seemed like they were going to mix in some like mythical elements to it. Did it show somebody fighting a centaur at some point, or did I imagine that?
Centaurs are real. Totally authentic.
I'm trying to remember. Did they show?
So that would be kind of cool if they were trying to mix in some of the ancient Greek myths and legends.
Yeah. Bit of a God of War back to.
But it is kind of nice though. You do get to choose between a male or female character. You can romance the whole breadth of people across the entire spectrum in the game. So
damn,
you can it should be interesting, and it looked really pretty. Again, that's all I really say on that. But
actually,
is that all for Ubisoft, or did we forget one?
Well, I guess one thing that's worth mentioning is what wasn't there.
Far Cry.
Everyone was expecting. Well, you always expect Far Cry. No, but there was no Splinter Cell. There was no. I was kind of expecting there to be a new Rayman. They haven't had a Rayman in a little while.
Well,
I guess
a lot of people were expecting Splinter Cell because of the Walmart leak, where like everything that Walmart leaked except for Splinter Cell.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only one that, like, on that list that didn't actually appear at E3.
And I heard a few people hoping for a Prince of Persia as well.
Yeah.
And you play that series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the newer ones are so good.
But alas,
charming is a good word. It was around the time they made Beyond Good and Evil. They did Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and was there another one too where it was just like really fun, cartoony, just like pure adventure games? And yeah. Since then, it haven't really done much with it.
And some nice emo ones like The Warrior Within and the Two Towers.
Yeah, the sequels
Thrones
took a weird direction.
Yeah,
but the original one was good, and I haven't played the PS3 ones like Prince of Persia 2006 or whatever they call it, 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have that one on Steam. I have it on Steam. I've been meaning to try it.
Yeah, I do too.
But yeah. All right. After Ubisoft, the one that everybody was expecting, except for their logistical people, was the PlayStation Showcase, which was the weirdest fucking setup I've ever seen. Like they were like moving people around from room to room, showing different trailers and stuff. It wasn't all like in one big arena.
Yeah.
And so there were like breaks in between videos for like 20 minutes while people got moved over.
It was really awkward. And the panel who was doing the segments in between were just bad.
Yeah.
We were learning very little about anything. And it just, like, you could really feel yourself just waiting. It was like, can you imagine if you were there? It would have been even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So award for worst use of logistics for E3 goes to PlayStation easily. Yep. But
congrats.
They started off on a very strong foot with new gameplay, actual gameplay, and some new cutscenes from The Last of Us Part 2. Wow.
Unbelievable.
It was amazing.
What a trailer.
The gameplay looked like it was scripted. That's what blew me away. It was everything was so dynamic. The way people reacted, and it just seemed like, you know, she you can see her lining up to sneak up on someone, and they hear a noise and turn around, and she quickly has to duck into the shadows, turns around and happens to see a hole that she can crawl through, and there's someone else there that she's got to hide from. It was just like, there was like, I can't imagine playing a game like in Last of Us and Uncharted, you have to clear the area of enemies, but this just seems like it's almost a persistent living world.
So I was reading some stuff afterwards that people they clarified some of the things that were happening in the trailer. So a lot of it's scripted, but it's like context sensitive scripting. So like if you're in the right place at the right time doing the right thing, then this thing will happen.
Yep.
But
like
again,
pulling the arrow out and using it again.
So like they're saying like if you do get shot by an arrow, like you won't be able to shoot easily. You have to actually spend the time to hide and pull it out for you to actually go back to normal. Yep. They had some things like in The Last of Us and Uncharted games, you have to kill everybody before you move on. But they were saying that in this game, escape is possibly an option. Like you could just run away and make through without having to murder everybody. But yeah, I mean, it looks like The Last of Us, which is good. I mean, it looks a lot better, but I mean, it definitely has that Last of Us feel. Same over the shoulder view. You know, you got your health in the bottom right corner. This time you can hide in tall grass and things like that. You're still just, ideally the way I'll play it is stealthing through every area, snapping necks, and or I guess in Ellie's case, shivving them or stabbing them in the face.
Yeah. It was definitely the most naturalistic, the most realistic animations in a game I've ever seen. And that includes in the cutscene beforehand, which started out in a bar and Ellie's hanging around and somebody comes over to chat to her and she has a little bit of banter with them. And then she's on a dance floor with, you think it's her friend, and then they end up like doing a little flirting and having a kiss, and it is the most realistic it's the most realistic flirting and the most realistic kiss you've ever seen in a game. It is movie quality. It was really typically Naughty Dog.
The facial animations were insane.
Yeah. I just
the subtleties.
I remember someone like pointing out on Twitter, like, check out like nose deformation when their like faces come together. Look at this, the nose squishes here when it touches her. Just stuff like that, just like little details. It was really neat.
Yeah, all other developers on Twitter were going nuts. Twitter was going crazy. It was it was the most amazing trailer I've ever seen. It was really gruesome at times as well. The death sequences where she's like hacking someone to death with a machete or whatever.
Yeah, that never happened in the first game, so I can understand why you're shocked.
Well, I mean, it seemed a lot more high definition, a lot more realistic. It was pretty grim, but I can't wait for this game. This is by far my most anticipated game.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, and you know, Naughty Dog is the only developer who you think they're going to take full advantage of this. It's not just about technology. They're not just going to put lipstick on a pig or something. They're going to have the story to back it up. They're going to have the world to back it up. I'm just so excited for it. And and then the gameplay. Everything seemed so dynamic, as you said, Elliot. Like the compare that to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, where it had like the really old school barks. Oh, hey, somebody's lying over here. And it's like, you were talking to that person 1 second ago. If that actually happened, you would be freaking out right now. Whereas in The Last of Us 2, it all seems so much more realistic and so much more natural. And the enemy pathfinding, when they were like swarming out to search for her, it looked so real. It was freaky. I can't wait for this game.
Being able to just run, as Josh was saying, makes me a lot more excited for it.
Yep.
It's
Well,
I mean,
you should probably finish the first one though.
I should, and there's just such a high stress game, and it's like, you know, there's a battle area, and someone's going to sneak up on you, and you got to know what to look out for. But if you can just use your environment and escape, and oh man, I don't know, that might be more anxiety.
I'm sure there will still be plenty of areas where you do have to kill everybody, but I mean, I'm
sure
if in some instances the option's there, then you don't have to waste your ammo. Go for it. But sadly, still no release date. In the meantime, they announced that God of War is going to get a new Game Plus mode, so Steve-O, you can play through it a second time now.
I want to play it so badly. Assholes.
They added a Destiny 2 Forsaken, which is the new expansion for Destiny 2, got a new story trailer.
What? What's that? Destiny 2?
Yeah, it's a game.
Did that come out?
Yeah.
Destiny 1.5.
So I mean, regular listeners know of our love for Destiny 2 and Destiny and all.
Elliot actually owns it.
I do. So does Josh.
I do too.
Most of us do.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Josh owned it.
Yeah, I did the raids and stuff. I finished, but I haven't gone back after the base game because I didn't get any of the DLC because fuck that. So, for a little bit, it looks like PlayStation Plus members will be able to download Black Ops 3 for free, and I think that includes the zombie mode, although maybe not the extra map packs. So it's kind of a game that got some mixed reviews, but I know a lot of people had fun with the zombies mode. So if you have
we should give it a go.
Plus, go ahead.
When is it? Is it out now?
Yeah, I already downloaded it.
It's free on PS Plus. Go get it, and we'll play some zombies and maybe stream some.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Next up, and I gotta disclaim this one really quick. When we were talking about Sekiro Shadows Die Twice in the last episode, I was thinking of Ghost of Tsushima because there were way too many fucking samurai games this year that got announced at E3. So
I was not. So I hope the things that I said offset the stupidity that was coming out of Josh's mouth.
Yeah, so whatever I said last episode was about this upcoming game called by Sucker Punch called Ghost of Tsushima. Which looked again, it was another samurai game. I already said my piece in the last one, so Steve, go ahead.
Well, it was significantly more beautiful. Ghost of Tsushima was significantly more beautiful than what did you call the other one?
Sekiro.
Sekiro. Yeah. This game is by Sucker Punch. It is in a world like you've never seen before. The ancient Japan, the colors, it looks like a samurai movie. With just I don't know. Somebody else talked about it. It was too beautiful.
Yeah, it looks impressive. I don't know what else to say.
It reminded me a little bit because he was riding about on the horse and watching the grass sway, that beautiful yellow grass, the Otsuna grasslands. It looked a bit like it was open world. It reminded me a little bit of what did I play just recently? GTA on horses.
Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption. It reminded me a little of that. I was getting my, relaxed vibes. I was thinking, I'm going to enjoy this a lot. And then he like rides through, he sees people being murdered, he fights off a couple of guys, and then he has this standoff, this one-on-one like duel with somebody he thought his friend, and as it's happening, like the enemies are closing in and they're firing like, I don't know what's the Japanese version of a Molotov cocktail, and everything's setting, like all the leaves around them are going on fire, and the cherry blossoms are falling, and it's just all these reds and pinks, and it's just the most amazing. It looks unlike anything you've ever played before. I'm really looking forward to this one too.
I couldn't have said any better, Steve-O, except when I did a few days ago.
That was exactly what Josh was talking about. The cherry blossoms.
Elliot will edit it back in here.
The next one, Capcom announced something that had been teased for the longest time. The Resident Evil
kept secret.
Yeah, worst kept secret.
Go on.
The Resident Evil 2 remake. It's coming out 25th of January in 2019 on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Oh, it looks good.
So good.
Yep.
It looks so good. It looks like it. So I was curious what they would do, because they haven't, like the Resident Evil 1 remake and Resident Evil. I guess it was just the Resident Evil 1 remake. It was in the same style as Resident Evil 1. They just changed a few things here and there. And since then, Resident Evil's gotten so much more action oriented. But Resident Evil 2 was originally, like the levels and the environments were designed around this like close corridors kind of thing. Not really
survival horror
action, but they seem to have married that into, the old design, the old look with the new. It looks fucking intense.
Yeah, I think I actually only saw this cinematic trailer. Was there a gameplay trailer to go along with it?
So someone, well, there were bits and pieces of gameplay scattered throughout, but they had they showed the guy playing Leon, and he was in the middle of the police station checking out some files, and then he runs off to one of the side rooms down this dark hallway, which wasn't dark in the original, or it might have been, but it just didn't look dark. But this time he's got a flashlight, so you got to look around, and ultimately he finds a couple zombies in there, and it shows him like he doesn't have a lot of ammo. He's got like 15 ammo, though he finds some more, and it shows him in this version, you can like shoot off enemy limbs, which might be a way to save some ammo. If you like shoot off a leg, you don't have to actually spend time killing the guy. So they did show some gameplay though. It looks pretty. It looks. Good.
I don't think I saw any Crimson Heads, which was
the
most terrifying thing about the Resident Evil 1 remake.
Mm-hmm.
But it's and Resident Evil 2 is up there with one of the best ones in the series, and they seem to be doing it all sorts of justice, which is really exciting.
And I think they're making it as like two separate playthroughs rather than crisscrossing like you did in the original. So like in the original, you played Leon A and then you play Claire B, or vice versa. But in this one, I think you just you choose Leon or Claire and you play their story the whole way through. I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, because the original one is like you played Leon 1, Claire 2, and then like Claire 1, Leon 2. And then you had to beat the game like 5 or 6 times or something like that to actually see everything that you could see. And it was just like, I just beat it once, just Leon. And that was enough for me.
Yeah. I think I did both routes to be back in the day, but it's been a long time. I'm excited to see if they do an RE3 remake, because RE3 got a little less survival horror-y because you could craft ammo, but it was still a lot of fun to me. But it also reuses a lot of the assets from Resident Evil 2. So I'm wondering if they're making this RE2 remake, then they're like basically halfway there to an RE3 one.
Yeah, I love 3. It was a little more action oriented. Yeah. But I think because of that, because it was less atmospheric, I was able to get through it more comfortably.
I don't think I ever
deal with
played
the Nemesis.
3. Yeah, I thought, Ellie, you wouldn't have been able to handle the Nemesis.
No. I had a guide, and it would tell me when he was coming, so I was okay.
Yeah. So next up, Remedy showed off a new game called Control, coming in 2019. It looks like a 3D Metroidvania, but with like psychic powers and gunplay.
Wait, where did you get Metroidvania at?
I thought I read that somewhere. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Really?
I can double check really quick. But.
Yeah, dude, that sounds amazing. I just thought it was a straight up shooter. It looked like Max Payne with psychic abilities to me.
Yeah, they say Control is a Metroidvania style open-ended sandbox type thing.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. I can't wait for this. I really like Remedy games. I really enjoyed the Max Payne games. Alan Wake was really cool. Really interesting episodic style to it. I kind of wish more games would do that. They made Quantum Break as well, didn't they? But it was meant to be a little bit more disappointing. Did they, Elliot?
They did Max Payne, Alan Wake, Quantum Break.
Yep. Yeah, Quantum Break. Some people really enjoyed it, but it did kind of get mixed reviews on it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it sounds amazing.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was a Metroidvania either.
Yeah. But to hold you over for that, you got to see the next installment of Kingdom Hearts again. Kingdom Hearts 3, another trailer. This time showing off the Pirates of the Caribbean world, which they've had in, I guess, Kingdom Hearts 2 or something. Although, to be fair, it did look really good. Like, Sora and Goofy and Donald were kind of like rendered as like real people almost. It looked like kind of lifelike. It was kind of creepy. And so, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 again.
Well, Josh, I'm really proud that you said Caribbean there. Good work.
Why?
To the Caribbean.
Yeah, what?
I thought Americans say Caribbean.
Depends. We do them interchangeably, but Pirates of the Caribbean goes Caribbean. But if you're going to take a cruise, you go to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That makes no sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I know that now.
Welcome to America. Next up was the 4th trailer for one of the most batshit insane games that we know nothing about, Death Stranding.
Yes.
Which I'm pretty sure is just Kojima trolling us at this point.
Oh my god, I can't wait for this. It makes no sense. None of it. How is he going to tie all this together?
I don't know, but they showed what looked like some in-game footage of your character like walking along the landscape, and the landscape looks phenomenal.
Yeah. The art direction is wonderful. It looks like the cinematography looks insane, and that's pretty much all I can say for sure about anything.
I just love this idea of playing the role of a hapless delivery man.
Yeah.
Bumbling along. And it really got me thinking, like, why is he possibly doing this? Is he some kind of criminal? Is this some kind of punishment?
So I'm pretty sure he's a baby delivery man, and the game is actually you have to balance all these packages on your back while walking from point A to point B, and if you drop a baby, you lose. That's literally the whole game.
I wouldn't put it past Kojima.
Stork. One theory I saw was, and I don't think this is spoiling anything, but they had that scene where he had like the baby in his little like container, and it was when the whatever invisible monsters were coming after them, and he like tapped on it to make sure he was looking at it, and so I wasn't sure what that was about, but some people were thinking that like it seems like the enemies like age you, like they either age you rapidly or they put you through time in some way.
Yeah.
And the baby is a clone of yourself, so that when you get old rapidly and die, the baby grows up and you can continue on.
Wow.
In spite of that. And I was like,
that's some crazy
sounds like Kojima
shit.
Yeah, sounds like the man. But yeah, I totally forgot about the montage of him just carrying increasingly heavy packages on his back across the mountains.
Yes.
As you say, though, the world looks so amazing. There's obviously going to be elements of stealth, which Kojima does best. The enemies seem genuinely frightening. I can imagine playing this game with headphones on and being genuinely freaked out when they're nearby and creeping around you. Oh man, I can't wait for this.
We then had Spider-Man, and they showed a nice long gameplay video of what I assume is probably early on in the game, where Spider-Man goes out to some middle of the Manhattan, the river in New York, to the what's called the Raft, some facility out there, and he goes in there, and all of a sudden you see Electro, the Rhino, Scorpion, Negative Man, and there was one more, Vulture.
Am I the only person who doesn't know any of these enemies?
Yes.
The only good villain in Spider-Man is Venom, but
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin's pretty good too. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Mysterio,
Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, and
Hobgoblin,
and Venom.
Hemoglobin. It looks pretty neat. They showed a lot of web swinging around the raft, and I mean, I think some of that might have been a little scripted because it was like a chase sequence. But then later on they showed some stuff of him swinging through the city, which, even if I don't play the game much, I think that would actually be just kind of fun, just to swing around New York.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah,
it seemed a little like Batman in Arkham City, but better, but more fun. It looked like it would be more fun to traverse that way. It also, the actual fight sequences seemed very Batman Arkham as well.
Yeah,
which isn't a bad thing. Could be a really good thing.
I got that vibe. It looks so good.
It looks pretty good, like using your web to swing around pillars and columns, and then using the momentum to kick a guy in the face into another guy, and then just bouncing all around the screen.
Yeah, so and the kind of bullet time, Spidey time kind of thing.
Spidey time.
And there seemed to be loads of different special moves that he was doing, in the same way as Batman has all the different gadgets, I guess. It looked like a lot of fun to play. And he was making jokes and quips the whole time. How did you feel about that? Did you think it was a bit much, or did you watch the cartoons? I guess
that's what Spider-Man does.
That's his character. Yeah. That's totally him.
So it was good, you thought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's him. They got him, yeah.
Then one more they showed, another fucking samurai game. Although this is like a demon samurai, I guess. They showed a short trailer of this samurai dude getting attacked by monsters, and they shove a flaming rock into his head, and he pulls it out, and then it flames everywhere, and then it just flashes Neo 2. So Neo's getting a sequel. No idea what it's going to be about. That was literally all they showed. So if you enjoyed Neo, keep following news for Neo 2. So that was a Sony conference. They had some other stuff, actually. Now I think about it, PC gaming came before the Sony conference. We got a little mixed out of order here.
Yeah,
that's right.
But in the PC gaming conference, they showed a few things. They showed Valkyria Chronicles 4, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza 0 were coming to PC.
Yeah, a lot of Sega games.
So exciting, yeah. Oh, goddamn time. Especially after they finally did it with Bayonetta, and you're like, oh shit, Sega might be looking to. Oh wait, Valkyria Chronicles. Oh, did you mean?
Yeah, it's Valkyria Chronicles 4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So after Bayonetta and Valkyria Chronicles 1, you'd hope, and they're doing good with this. Yakuza is gonna be fucking great.
Yeah.
And because it's a bit janky on PS4, and I think being able to just run it at 60 FPS and maxing everything out will do it a lot of favors.
Yeah, and the fact that you'll be able to pick it up on a Steam sale at some point. Very nice. I guess I've already got Yakuza 0 on PS4, so I won't be buying it again, but might be tempted to jump into a couple of the others.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to Valkyria Chronicles 4, and I think I enjoyed it more on PC just because of the controls, the original, I mean. So I might pick up 4 when it comes out. And speaking of which, they also showed a new trailer for that one as well. So they also showed a new trailer for, I guess, the new Hitman series. I guess Hitman 2 Hitman 1 was episodic, so maybe Hitman 2 is going to be episodic as well. So
yeah, I'm sure it is.
Probably.
Is it season 2 or just Hitman 2?
I think it was just called Hitman 2.
I think it was just called Hitman 2, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't called Hitman Season 1, so yeah.
I actually thought it was.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'd probably be another episodic series again, but
yeah, it made them a lot of money the last time out, and people were really excited for the drops, and it's kind of like a community thing. When a new one came out, everyone would hop on and play.
Yeah, and it's cool because they ran into some like ownership issues at the end there when like the small group of developers that made the game ended up with the IP for the whole Hitman like universe, and you weren't sure what was going to happen, but and I'm not sure exactly how it played out, but it looks like they found a place to get their games out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So there was one day left of E3 after that, where the primary thing was the Nintendo conference, though there were a couple things that were announced just kind of throughout that day. There was a new trailer for Catherine Full Body, which is like a remaster of the original Catherine game, but they're also adding in a third Catherine.
Oh, really?
If anybody played Catherine, I beat it a long time ago. It was a fun puzzle game, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know if this might be enough to get me to buy it again, but it should be interesting. And if you haven't played it, I do recommend getting it.
It's a difficult game.
It's hard as shit. Yeah.
Don't start it on like hard difficulty, or I think I even started at a medium difficulty and got stuck at one point.
Yeah, I think I beat it on normal. I don't think I did hard. There's no way.
Yeah.
And then there was also a trailer for Yakuza Kiwami 2. Elliot.
Yep. That's a poorly kept secret as well. Like, it pretty much they get announced for Japan, and then they've been pretty consistently coming over. And Kiwami 2 came out. I think it's out in Japan, and it was only a matter of time before it would be announced here. And, it was recently announced and got a trailer. So keep on and it's if people don't know, it's a remake of the original Yakuza 2, which was a PS2 game.
Gotcha. So the last conference of E3 was the Nintendo conference, and Elliot, I would be remiss if I didn't let you lead this one, since you are our resident Nintendo fanboy.
Yes. Lots of fun stuff in the Nintendo video today. A few new Switch games, a few new updates to games we've already seen. Some of the ones that stuck out there, I didn't think there was any like bombshells really. Like they didn't officially announce like the next Pokemon, which people are kind of waiting to hear about.
It was mostly just a whole lot of Smash, wasn't it?
Tons of Smash Brothers
was the bombshell, and like the content of the whole thing pretty much
massive. It was like a 4-hour Nintendo Direct afterwards. It was just going over all the new Smash characters.
And it's out in December, right? Like early December. I can't believe it's out so soon. Like I remember when Smash for it might have been the one for Wii was coming out. It was like it felt like years of just like drip information coming out, and the hype was so big, and finally it came out. And it just seems so weird to be like, there's the Smash. It's going to be every single character who's ever been in Smash in this game. I don't know if there's going to be any more. People are a little upset that Waluigi has never been in Smash, and
yeah, Twitter's going crazy. They want Waluigi, or they're going to have blood.
Who gives a shit? I don't care about that character at all.
I know. I think it's mostly a joke. Come on.
It's just an internet meme.
You guys are stupid. Why do you like this?
I'll never understand it, but whatever.
No, it's. I think it's just a funny thing, but yeah, it doesn't seem like I haven't heard of any new characters that they're gonna add, but I think the door is still open on that.
Yeah, definitely. There's bound to be DLC, right?
They added Ridley.
Oh yeah,
that's true. That's true. They did have a few that they added, but I don't know if they're gonna add more than that. They said 68 characters in the roster, I think, It's like 65 and then 68 but like the last three are like like different versions of characters that are already there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wild. It'll be obviously for Switch, no 3DS version this time. But yeah, if you've ever played Smash, all those characters are going to be in this game, including Snake.
How does Smash play online? Does it ever have lag problems? I guess it was on Wii U, so no one had it. But I guess we'll find out about Switch, because obviously for us, we're not going to be in the same place playing it, and it is. I
don't think it'll have many issues. People have been playing like Street Fighter and stuff online for ages now. So
we've got Mario Kart, we've got ARMS,
yeah,
which is a fighting game, and it seems to be doing okay. Splatoon,
yeah, should be okay.
I'm not worried about it.
Yep,
but we'll see. Overcooked 2 coming, it was announced at the Nintendo conference, coming for all the systems, of course, but it's going to have online play.
I didn't play the original one, but I hear it's a good way to lose friends.
It is
so much fun.
Cooperation and communication are so important, and if people aren't doing what they're supposed to do, you get you lose friends, get divorces.
Yelling is mandatory for sure.
It's a great party game, though. I feel like the difficulty progression is a little weird. I don't want to get into too much. I'm not talking about right now, but the first level is nice and easy, next level is okay, and third level is insanely hard, and then the fourth one's back to a more reasonable. And it's so we haven't gotten far with it because it's so fucking hard. But
has it got a platinum as well?
I don't know. I only have it on Switch.
I think it does. I think it's got a platinum. Oh, you've only got it on Switch? Okay, we should stop talking about it over. I've got it on PS4. I'm going to have to find a friend and play that platinum.
Yeah.
So what else was at Nintendo?
Speaking of party games, Super Mario Party.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm actually kind of interested in this, especially because they showed off how you can have 2 Switches locally talk to each other.
Yeah, that was so cool.
And since I've got a Switch and my nephew's got a Switch, I was thinking that this might actually be kind of fun to play.
Yeah, so they had a thing where there's a playing field, and you're playing on the Switch, on the portable, and they laid 2 of them down next to each other, and they lined them up in a way where part of the map was on one Switch and the other part of the map was on the Switch. And they just swiped across to show where the connection was, and then you just play on the controller, and it makes the map it was.
Yeah, and they really did some other games on there where they had pictures of half a banana or a bunch of bananas on one Switch, and there were a bunch of them on the other side, and you had to rotate the 2 Switches until you got the ones that lined up, and then you swipe across, and that's how you won that mini game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Josh, do you think you'll be able to get Lily and your niece playing this as well?
This might be an example of something I might be able to, yes.
Good stuff. You'll have to report back.
I've never bought a Mario Party game, but this one looks real good.
Same here.
I just really want one online, but I don't think this is.
They said there was. I think they said there was going to be some sort of limited online to some online to some extent.
That would be so nice. It's probably just leaderboards.
Maybe, yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC.
Torna, the Golden Country. If it was a better game, I'd think about it, but
seems fine. Yeah. The big one is the next big one is Fortnite is on Switch, and it was out today.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And
however, Sony's fucking their shit up again because they're always bitches when it comes to crossplay. So if you have an Epic Games account, which you need to play Fortnite, and all your progression is tied between the PC version and the iOS version and say the PlayStation version.
Yeah,
however,
it's on your account.
If you have ever linked your Epic account to the PlayStation, you cannot play it on Xbox or Switch, and vice versa.
Yeah,
because
you can't even log in with it. It'll say incorrect account.
So you cannot use this account on this system. So you basically need to start a new account until this is all fixed if you want to play it on Switch.
And you can't remove the PlayStation account.
This is the most frustrating thing. Epic even has this ability on their website where you can go in there and you can disconnect an account. They have that ability there, but Sony doesn't allow them to use it. You can disconnect it, but Sony still locks you out. It's a disgrace.
Apparently, it's because they gave away some free Fortnite skins or something on PS Plus a while ago.
Good enough. Like that's
they don't
not good enough.
Hand them over for free to the other consoles.
Yeah. That's not a valid excuse. That is the most petty, like tiny little thing.
Which is stupid because they're PS Plus things. So that means someone's already paying for PS Plus. That got those free suits. Exactly. So Sony's already getting their money.
I just don't know why Sony can't keep that to PS4 versions of Fortnite.
It's just petty bullshit.
Have them like Rocket League has the Sweet Tooth, and it doesn't show up on PC. Like it's just you just don't see it, and you can't use it if you have. But I guess you don't have an account, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't log in to, or although this is going to be changing because this is going to happen with Rocket League now, isn't it?
It is.
In order for them to have cross-platform play, cross-platform parties, I'm pretty sure we are going to need to log in this way to to the Switch and Xbox pretty soon.
Yeah.
And since Sony doesn't play with them, this is exactly how it's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah. They're causing themselves trouble. Like this is what Sony does. They get ahead and then they turn into douches and then everybody leaves them for Xbox again.
Arrogant Sony's back.
Everyone did this. Like Xbox got arrogant when 360 was out and ahead. Wii with Nintendo fucking like we'll just do don't even do online, don't even do like hard, don't even up the graph. It's just like I don't know why people continually make the same mistake over and over.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But it sucks. But if you want to play Switch on Fortnite and you've already played it on PS4, you need to make a new account. If you haven't played it on PS4, you're good to go.
Yeah, basically.
So, other games at the Nintendo conference, this Fire Emblem looked really interesting.
It does.
I really like the way it like zoomed out of the battle and then zoomed back into the battle. So, I've never played a Fire Emblem game before, but this one you're obviously in control of the main head of the party, and you can tell your troops to go different places. And when you order them to a certain square on the map or whatever, it then zooms in. And I think you can order individual troops around within that. Is that what I was saying, Josh?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. It looks more to me like you order your main character to go attack, and then like just in the background you see the people that are surrounding you fighting the other people that are surrounding the enemy. Kind of like if you ever played like a Lawn Grisser game or what they called War Song, you had a party of like 10 soldiers, and that was your HP was 10. And then as you saw the soldiers fight, if a soldier died, there's an 1 point of HP and things like that. But I mean, it wasn't entirely clear just based on a little bit that they showed, but that's just what the vibe kind of gave me.
And again, neither of you have ever been invested in the Fire Emblem series, have you?
I started playing one recently just to kind of get a vibe for it, just because I love tactical RPGs, and I don't know, it just never was on my radar until I was like, oh, I'll give one a shot. Why not?
Elliot, I never finished one, but I've owned quite a few of them, and I've played a lot of them, but I haven't finished any. They have this, and they don't do this anymore with more recent ones. It's a little more user friendly, but the earlier ones are notorious for having permadeath. So you lose one unit, you can't even revive them on the battlefield. There's no like Phoenix down. Yeah. They're dead for, and so I just get OCD, and I'm like, I lose a unit, I have to start over till I can.
That happens to me too. Final Fantasy Tactics syndrome. No, I spent all this time leveling up this guy. He can't be dead.
But FF Tactics lets you use Phoenix Downs at least.
Well,
that was my first tactical game. So when I went into Fire Emblem, I'm like, oh my god, this is impossible. But it as part of the game, it does that thing where you have a unit attacking another unit, and it does zoom in, and you can see what's like going on. And this is just like a much more high fidelity, like,
polished one. Yeah.
It looked really cool.
I do think you're seeing. Well, I saw what you saw, Steve, where like you can issue sub commands once you're in that battle screen, and it looks like I think I've mentioned this before on the cast, where like my dream was always to play like high fidelity, high graphic, like super immersive version of Final Fantasy Tactics, where you're like on the battlefield and you see your troops moving around, and this feels like we're getting closer to that, and it looks fucking great.
Cool.
Also, they didn't show any of the fucking like dating sim stuff that's taken over the last few games. So
please, God, no.
Might not be in there, but I'm sure it will be in some.
You just want to date another 1,000-year-old dragon. Don't worry, I know she looks 8, but she's 1,000 years old.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks fantastic. It does look really good.
Well,
and there was one other there, right?
Oh yeah, there's Demon X Machina, which was looked like a kind of like a not Zone of the Enders, more kind of like I guess it's kind of like Zone of the Enders virtual on mech fighting game. I saw some gameplay during the Nintendo Direct afterwards where I don't know, they were just kind of like fighting off waves of enemy in like a semi-destructible town desert area.
Did it look fun? Did it seem like very tactical, or did it seem more arcadey?
It's I don't know. It seemed like they were way overpowered for the things they were fighting, so I'm not sure if that was just because that's what they were showing as a demo or what.
Yep.
But I need more information. I'm not sure.
People love mechs,
and new IPs keep bringing them out. Nintendo. There's a lot of these are just like sequels and games we've already played before, so it's nice to see something new out there.
Yeah. Well, we did it. It took us 2 episodes. Took us 2 episodes, but damn it, we got through E3 finally.
What about
E3's down?
What about quick winners and losers for you?
Losers, Sony's logistics team.
Yeah, definitely.
And Square Enix's conference team.
Yeah,
it was a really lame, boring conference. It was like nothing.
I mean, in terms of games that made the biggest impact, like it's hard to ignore Smash. But we didn't see anything too new there, and we all kind of knew it was coming. Like, not to devalue it because of that stuff, but for me, the stuff that like dropped my jaw was The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, probably
number 1 there. It was.
Yeah,
I'm just going through the list again to see if I miss anything, but that one was fucking like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm not a big Smash fan or anything, but I know a lot of people were really excited to see all that. But yeah, I think best conference goes to Microsoft just because of the breadth of games that they had.
Yeah,
they had a lot to show, and a lot of it was actually pretty well. Like they actually showed quite a bit of each of those games. It wasn't all just cinematic trailers. So there's a lot to go there.
Except for Halo Infinite.
Well, okay. Yeah. But game of the show, yeah, I'm super excited for Last of Us 2. That one was, I mean, I think people kind of expected Last of Us 2, but that was
yeah.
How about you, Steve-O?
For me, I thought PlayStation was definitely the strangest of the shows for the simple reason that they showed the least. Well, they showed very few games for a PlayStation conference. And yet the quality of the trailers that they showed, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding, those trailers blew my face off. They were just so good. Xbox, as you say, just because it was so rapid fire, the number of games that they had in there, that's the kind of conference we want. We just wish they were all like that, and like that many of them showed trailers too. And I guess the big question coming out of it is, like, how good is Fallout 76 going to be?
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's good. I really am. I could use a new Fallout game.
Man, it's been a long time since I came away from E3 thinking Microsoft stole the show.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's
good for them.
And of course, their new development houses. That was, again, massive announcement.
Kind of its own bombshell there.
Yeah, and totally reason for optimism, reason for excitement in the future. It's really cool.
Between that and the way the backwards compatibility is looking, it's super tempting to get a X1X with the 4K TV.
Yeah.
In the next few years. Like,
and Biggest Losers. Oh, Madden NFL 19. God bless them. So good.
All right.
Oh, and Sea of Solitude was really good as well.
Oh, yeah. That was I remember that one now. Yeah, it's good. All right. Yeah. Well, again, we survived another E3, which means we've somehow been around long enough for 2 E3s. Granted, the first one happened like a month after we started this, but still.
Still counts.
It's 2 E3s down. Now we just gotta see if we can make it to 3.
Good
Elliot,
skills,
take us home.
Thanks, guys. It has been a pleasure doing this E3 with you.
Next time out, we'll actually talk about some games again that we played.
Yeah. Oh shit. Let's recap where we're at here in our podcast verse. We're playing Oxenfree, which we've all been pretty distracted these last couple of weeks here. If you'll forgive us, we might need a little more time on that. But that is our last rolled game, and I don't expect to roll next episode. Like we'll try to roll through this here.
Yeah, well, we have lots of others to talk about. I've been playing Prey. I'm probably gonna. Oh, I've been playing a little of Life is Strange as well.
Yeah,
really interesting game, guys. Did you both get that on PS Plus? If you did, give it a go.
Yeah,
I think I played the first chapter of it.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
Josh, you've played about 1 million games, haven't you?
Yeah, and I guess I could mention that the Final Fantasy 4 or Final Fantasy 5 4-Job Fiesta has started up again this year. I played it last year. Go to 4jobfiesta.com, donate money to Child's Play, and also sign up to play Final Fantasy 5 in some sick, twisted, random number generated way.
Cool.
I'm sure we'll get your updates on that in the next
yeah.
few weeks as you progress.
Oh yeah.
How long does it last?
Goes until roughly end of August, I think, something like that.
Oh, damn.
You got plenty of time to do it.
All right. Yeah, I played a little bit of God of War. Bought a few other games that I'll talk about here on Switch, probably next episode. But yeah, it's looking bright here. Until then, you can check us out at ratherbycast.com. That's our website where we post all of our episodes and occasionally articles and general musings. Otherwise, we do that on Twitter at RBPcast is our podcast account. And then we have our own accounts at RBP Josh, at RBP Elliot, at RBP Stevo. If you want to be a part of the discussion, send us an email to questions@ratherbycast.com and we'll discuss and read it on an episode. Between episodes, we like to stream video games on twitch.tv/ratherbyplaying, and then we post the VODs as well as every episode on our YouTube channel, which you can search for. Yeah. Does that cover things? You can check us out on Facebook as well.
Be confident, Elliot. Did you cover everything?
I think I did.
You nailed it, Elliot. Well played, sir.
And I feel like I've missed something the last 3 straight episodes because I feel like it should be longer than that.
Just put like a checklist in front of you or something.
Oh, I think
get it tattooed on your forearm.
There you go. I mean, I've got the intro tattooed on mine. Hey everyone, welcome to Rather Be Playing, the podcast.
I've got my name tattooed on mine, and I'm Stevo.
So
that's useful.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're on wherever you find your podcast, SoundCloud, YouTube. I mentioned iTunes. So jump on there, give us a like, subscribe, and tell your friends about us. That's the part I've been forgetting the last few weeks.
Wherever you found us, where you're listening to us now, we're there.
Yes.
Pass us on. Hit share.
Yeah.
I guess so. All right, everybody.
Slam that share button, bro.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks very much, guys.
Sayonara.